Look at another thing, just changing the subject slightly, Ukraine. Now I know Poland is very nervous about Russia always, and has good reason to be. But to me, all this Ukraine business is getting on my nerves, because the British and the Americans couldn't care less about Ukraine. We have created a situation where countries like Poland, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania and Ukraine are in great danger, because we didn't give Russia reason to believe it would be safe from attack by us, NATO. We attacked Serbia. They know we're going to be violent if we want to be. NATO attacked Serbia. We attacked Iraq. We attacked Afghanistan. We attacked Libya. We almost went in and destroyed the Assad regime in Syria. We will attack. And we had, of course, France under Napoleon and Germany under Hitler attacking Russia. Russia needs to feel it's secure, just as Poland and all the other countries in Central and Eastern Europe need that feeling. But because NATO was a strong alliance of Britain, France, Germany, Italy, United States above all, that gave the guarantees to countries like Poland and the Baltic states. Because if Russia moved on them, we could say we would then move against Russia in different ways. But now we're right up against it. We decided we'd said to Ukraine, we're going to eventually let you join NATO. The Russians couldn't tolerate that. And so we made them go to war. It's not right they went to war against Ukraine. But look at the Ukraine they went to war against. They go into every filthy thing in the West. That's what we're supposed to be defending.
Partially it happened to Poland as well, through the media, buying all the worst stuff from the West.
But you know what I believe? I believe because we're a nasty, nasty Western alliance. We've been nasty for years, for decades. The Blessed Virgin, remember? She promised in 1917 in Fatima. Well, she said it told Lucia in 1929, actually. She could tell the world that if Russia is consecrated to her Immaculate Heart, that the Soviet Union will come to an end. But it wasn't done in the way she said until John Paul II did it. Tried to do it in 1982 after being shot. Did it properly because he couldn't get all the bishops in time. Did it in 1984 with all the bishops of the world. Not mentioning it directly, but implying it. And it seems to me that caused the Blessed Virgin, her promise to be enacted. And the Soviet Union came to an end. The empire came to an end without a single death in war. And that's God's promise. 2 years after John Paul II made that consecration, Gorbachev became the leader of the Soviet Union. And that's what precipitated the fall. So just 2 years after the consecration. So we can call him Mary's Pope. But that gave us an opportunity. He wrote, I remember him writing 1990 or thereabouts, that like all the tensions that there'd been since the World War II had really gone down from 1990 when the
was the separation because the collapse of Soviet Union was
89. First, 1989 when all the Soviet Hungary and Poland, it all fell apart, and then in 1990 Russia itself, I think, was 1992. Okay, it was glasnost, and they basically, the Russians decided they would not do anything to bring back the countries like Hungary and Poland and the Baltic states.
I think it was already developed together with the President of the United States, the close cooperation.
And Reagan. But the collapse of the Russian Empire was without expectation by the CIA or British intelligence or anyone. It was absolutely miraculous and unexpected in toto. And that's
taken by surprise. They were.
Everybody on earth was. And that shows God responded to the Blessed Virgin's promise and John Paul II. Now, my point is this. We had a chance in 1990 or thereabouts to come to a terms with Russia and say, okay, we'll have a new world system, a new treaty, whereby we don't stand in a threat posture to each other. But what do we, the Brits and the Americans, say? No, we're going to keep NATO. Why? It's gone. The Soviet Union's gone. Why? Yeah, we know now why. So we can push ourselves around the world, project our power in different parts of the world. That's what it was about. And maybe against Russia one day. So it wasn't so much that it was a Soviet Union, it was that it was Russia, a massive landmass with potential power that we wanted to control. We had the chance to be friends. Mary said we ought to be, and Jesus says, we ought to be a people of peace. We were given, now during the Cold War, one can say, okay, we couldn't necessarily be as peaceful as we would want to be, because we're facing Stalin, Khrushchev, and then we've got Brezhnev, and what was it, Andropov, and then the other guys, two other guys, weren't there? We can't be peaceful, we have to kind of face them with our own nuclear weapons. But that excuse died in 1990, thereabouts. We showed what we really are, not a Christian Western world, but a bestial Christian Western world, because God had set everything up for a time of peace. Because we chose not to go down the road of the gospel and the Catholic faith, we ended up where we are now, on the brink of another nuclear war, either coming from the Soviets, the Russians, who we provoked massively, or the Chinese communists, who I sure would not be in the position they're in had we followed what we were supposed to do in the 1990s. Or Iran, who we've bullied and beaten around just because they're an Islamic republic that doesn't want to do the United States' bidding or Israel's bidding. Or North Korea, which knows that if you are a nuclear power, the United States will leave you alone. We battered Saddam Hussein because he didn't have nuclear weapons. We battered Gaddafi because he didn't have nuclear weapons. We battered the Serbians because they didn't have nuclear weapons. And we were going to batter Assad because he didn't have nuclear weapons. We kept our hands off Assad because the Russians would stop us, right? That saved Christianity in Syria, because if Assad had fallen, those Muslims would have come to power and killed every Christian as they did in the ISIS regions. So when you get nuclear weapons, the Yanks won't touch you, and the Brits won't touch you. So that's why that man in North Korea has got his nuclear weapons. He's saying, very, very intelligent. Every nation now knows that, because we are savages. NATO is a savages, godless, satanic alliance. And where we're going to be, one day, not far off, doing ourselves in because of it. Because we can't stay at peace. No country facing another country in an antagonising position can long endure in peace. Through the virtue of the Blessed Virgin, we had one chance under one promise. Well, there's been no more promises. So anyway, that's me.